We got stories from Natanya and Preston today. Preston, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So this one starts off, and it's got a big disclaimer on it that English is not my first language. I also have dyslexia, so I'm prone to mistakes. Supposed to be mistakes, but
Good to know.
Good to know.
all right. So a little context: I, 16 female, am a DM of a small D&D group that we are just 4 people, including me. Now we all are really close friends that we wanted to try playing D&D together and just try a few sessions. About 2 months ago, or yeah, about 2 months ago, we agreed to set up on a session for the following week. We don't play very often because of different reasons. After 1 week went by and got closer to the play date, one of my friends, 15 female, canceled and blamed it on anxiety, and that something that she struggles with and depression on a regular basis. We were all okay with this and asked if she wanted to play next week and if that would work better for her. She said yes, and we waited till the following. The day prior, again, she texted me messaging that she cannot play because of her mental health and that she has anxiety about playing in large groups. And I, after hearing this, just snapped. Myself, that I also struggle with anger issues and depression, I called her out, saying that she cannot blame her anxiety on this and should not have joined in the first place if she knew that this was an ongoing issue.
Pause for
The
a
group
moment.
and I,
Make sure I'm caught up because I had to do something real fast. So she's joining a D&D group, and she's
Mhm.
having
It's like,
anxiety about being a part of the group.
yeah,
Yes.
like they're all they're all good friends. And
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all
it sounds like
really
they're
close.
all very young too. So
Yeah.
I feel like that plays into
Is
it.
she a part of the good friends, or is she like, kind of like an
Yeah.
outsider? She's a part of
No,
it.
they're
Okay.
yeah, they're all really
So
close.
she knows everybody, and everybody knows her.
Yep.
Okay.
From
Cool.
what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah. I screamed at her for about 2 minutes. The group and I decided that we weren't going to play with her shit anymore, and then we just got rid of her. Let alone, we also found out for the past couple weeks she's been staying over at her friend's house for about 5 nights. Granted, this has only been about a month that this has been going on. If she has the energy to spend time with at other people's houses for 5 nights, but can't spend 2 to 3 hours with us one day a week, am I the asshole for kicking her out?
I
Okay.
think
Real fast. I think I also missed something. So, what was the fight about?
Because one of the DM was setting it up, and that player who has really bad anxiety with groups kept saying like, I can't join because I don't like large groups. I don't want to. I'm having an issue with this, and that happened 1 week, and then the following.
and it sounds like she canceled like the night like right before. Like
Yep.
night before, if I'm correct.
Is
Both
she the
times.
DM?
She's
No,
the
she's a
player.
player.
She's a player. Okay, so she said she was gonna go, and then she canceled last minute because of the amount of people that were there.
Yep.
Did she
And the
know
amount of
And
people has
beforehand?
not changed. Yep. Yeah, they set it up. It's a group of 4. 3 of them are players, and one of them's the DM.
it really sounds, I mean, if you cancel twice in a row, like it's kind of a hard subject because it's like, you know, people like mental health is real. People have anxiety issues for sure. But if it's 3 of your other close friends
And you
and
guys
you're
talked about it.
yeah, and you canceled right before twice in a row, like I mean, maybe you just can't play. I think maybe
Yeah.
yelling, screaming at her might not have been the best move, but
No.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I guess that's a little fucked up, but they're also young and
Yeah.
yeah, I would have kicked her out too. I mean,
It's
I would
that's
I don't think kicking her out was the asshole part. I think fucking screaming at her
Yeah,
was.
for 2 minutes about
Why
how
did
she sucked. Yeah.
why were you so mean about it? Like you could just say, girlfriend, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like
yeah, if you,
and then just said like, I'm sorry, like that's it.
yeah, yeah, and you could
Did it
just
that you have
say
to scream at the poor girl, like way to make her anxiety worse.
From what
yeah,
it
maybe
sounds
you
like,
should
She has it. Now she's gonna have anxiety with one-on-one conversations.
correct.
and like, you know, I don't know if they're all good friends, like you can kick her out and say, "Hey, I don't think this is going to work out," but you can still be a good friend. Like what if something's going on in her life?
Yeah.
Why is
Yep,
she
well,
staying at a friend's house for a week? She should be with her parents, you know?
yeah, 5 nights in a row, like our 5 weekends that she's able to do that and just stay at other people's houses.
So what's going on there? Are you like being
Hmm.
a supportive friend or are you just mad because she's not showing up for D&D?
Kind of sounds like a lack of willingness to communicate on what's really going on. So it's
Yeah.
just creating a lot of drama. Yelling at her and kicking her out was not the move, though. Say that
No.
was definitely you're the asshole for that for sure.
I would
I
say
think
Wyatt, though, probably
kicking
is
her
the
out was the move. I
You
just
think
don't think
kick?
yelling at her was.
You think kicking her out
like,
was the move?
Out of the D&D group?
yeah.
Oh, I thought they meant like literally kicked her. I thought
Oh no, they're
I
still
misheard.
close friends. It's just the out of the group. Like
Yeah, out of
you're
the
not
group. Okay,
playing
then yeah,
anymore.
out of the group is fine.
Oh,
The
yeah.
yelling at her, I thought it was a literal sense, like she got kicked out of someone's place.
Oh shit.
No, I
No,
don't think so.
and
Yeah.
out of the friendship group. But no, yeah, yelling at her for 2 minutes is over the top. Just a text message saying,
That's a
"Hey,
lot.
this is not working out for D&D. Let us know when you have more availability."
Or
That's it.
honestly, just being like, "Hey, how about like try to make it work? Like say like, "Hey, you're welcome any weekend. We're gonna continue playing. You can whenever you want to join, just let me know, and we'll make you like a little character. You could be like a little character for like that one session.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
make it work.
make an
Work with your
NPC
friend.
that the DM controls, and she just gets to play it when she can show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
Like,
she
And I
feels
can
comfortable and confident enough to show up.
yeah, yeah,
and I
Like
feel
there's
like with
ways to work with other people, like especially if you care enough about them.
There's a couple edits. The first one is after she was kicked out, we ended up having a really big fight. She
Yeah.
said that D&D is something that she was really looking forward to, and that I wanted to be a part of it, but you need to let me feel my feelings. I got upset again, saying that this is something we all agreed on. We're all very close friends. I don't understand why you have such anxiety about this. We've all been friends since we were in, I think that's preschool. Yeah, preschool. That's the
yeah,
first
it's
one.
the first one.
Yeah. The second one, 2 months have gone by. She is now part of the table. We are
Oh.
now working with her, trying to get her to be more comfortable with us playing in a fantasy world. She's only been a part of one session, looking forward to the ones that come ahead.
Hey,
Oh, look at
Oh.
that. They made it work.
Situation
They
worked itself
figured
out.
it out.
Yeah.
it sounds like they both kind of made some mistakes there, and they kind of
Figured it out.
figured it out. Good for them.
Fantastic.
The happy
Yeah.
ending. That's awesome.
Although for that first story though,
So
I would say that she's not the asshole though.
No.
I think she did the right decision. Poor execution on
Yeah.
Yeah,
it.
poor execution. And
Yeah.
that did make her out to be kind of an asshole, the way
Yeah.
she
Mhm.
went about it.
but I'm
But
sure,
kicking
like,
her out, like she wasn't an asshole because she kicked her out.
No. No.
and I'm sure
Yelling
because
at
both
her
of
was
you have
not
like,
right, but kicking her out, no.
no,
Like
Kicking her out
she's a
was the right move.
16-year-old in high school and a 15-year-old. So I'm
right,
assuming freshmen. Like
Yeah,
right.
it kind of makes sense. That kind of
Like,
makes
come on,
sense.
guys.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, I mean, not. I mean, not. I don't really. I feel like I don't feel like anybody's the asshole in that situation. To be honest, it just seems like
In general, and I feel like I can speak for everybody on this, we're not comfortable calling kids assholes.
yeah,
It
it's
just sounds like
it's like
sounds like kids being
they're
kids,
teenagers
like
Yeah.
being
teenagers being
yeah,
just teenagers, And
yeah.
work it out.
they're not assholes for that. They're
No,
just
I kind of
They're
thought they were
kids.
older than the teen. When you said young, I figured like 2019. Like I didn't
No,
know they
like
were
15.
teenagers. That makes a
Yeah,
lot more sense.
yeah.
That makes a lot more
yeah.
sense. But yeah, no, it's just teenage drama. Seems like.
Just
Yeah.
teenagers being teenagers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there any comments on it?
there's a few. There are some people saying that mental health is a real issue and that making sacrifices so friends can all play together in this great game need to be made. That was one of them, and that got a lot of
Like
upvotes.
that. Yeah.
There was another one that says no, kicking someone out to benefit the entire group, same as a hero sacrificing themselves for the greater good. Sometimes you have to kick that one person out so that way you can progress.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it's also like you guys have both been DMs, and I'm sure have felt the frustration of people canceling last minute.
Yeah.
So
I've been there.
that's yeah,
Been there.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like, that part, as frustrating as that is, sometimes
It's
you just gotta
also
work with people.
there's a point. Again, they're teenagers, but there's a point
Yeah.
if you know you have a struggle like that, it's still your responsibility to carry yourself responsibly. If you know you struggle with the idea, communicate that and ask for
Yeah.
what a solution can be. Don't just say you can do
Right.
it and then then
You
just
have
don't show up.
to.
But then I feel like it comes back to like being teenagers though. Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
probably doesn't know she like probably doesn't know how to handle her anxiety yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to like
Everything
predict it, you know?
I
yeah,
didn't.
like the teenagers is its own spectrum. But if you're an adult and you're
Right.
having that situation, like
Yeah, then it's kind of like up to you
yeah,
at
if
that
if
point
you're
to
a grown
like
ass
communicate
person,
that to other people.
exactly. You got to be able. It's try to find solutions, but don't. It's still up to you to make sure you can carry
Well,
yourself.
you have to ask for your needs to be met. People aren't mind readers,
No,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And if you have supportive friends, they'll help you. And if they don't, fuck that. But, like,
Find a new
you have
group of
to.
friends.
Yeah, find new
Exactly.
friends.
But
Find a group
let
of
them
friends.
know.
But yeah, but they also can't, hold your hand and read your mind if you're not willing to communicate how bad it's really becoming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I feel like the ultimate end all be all of that is just that they're teenagers.
They're
Yep.
That's
teenagers.
it.
They're being kids.
Yeah.
Kids being kids.
All right, Natanya, what do you got?
All right, I got am I the asshole for walking out of a coworker's D&D game? I, 20
I
female,
see.
have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a few years now with the same online group. We went on a hiatus and I really missed playing, so I started looking for another group. My coworker, 22 male, heard about this and invited me to join a game he just started. It was in real life, which I really wanted to try because I hear it's so much better in real life than online,
Fun.
I enthusiastically said yes. When I showed up to play and the vibes were I showed up to play and the vibes were immediately off. I was the only girl at the table and definitely the youngest. Everyone else was 22 to 26. They questioned my character choice, saying the group really needed a healer, but I had already chosen a different skill set. For anyone familiar with D&D or fantasy tropes in general, the single girl is always the healer slash mother
Yep.
figure, which I wanted to avoid at all costs. After some debate, my coworker shut them down and let me play a character I wanted. I should
Immediately
have
uncomfortable.
I should have walked out right then, but I stuck around to play 2 sessions. They were hell. Every choice I made in character was ignored or questioned, and the other players' characters flirted with and harassed my character in almost every interaction. They barely let me do anything in game and fought over which character would be able to date mine. In the middle of the second session, one of them asked what my character's bra size was. I stood up and said, "Nope, not going to take this anymore. You guys have fun," and walked out. Ever since then, they've all been blowing up my phone saying I ruined their game and that I shouldn't have walked out like that. I've blocked most of them because the messages started getting insulting. However, my coworker hasn't really talked to me since, and I feel like I should have tried to resolve the issue in a different way since I never told the group I was uncomfortable with character romance. Am I the asshole in this situation?
Oh
No.
my
Wow!
god.
Wow!
Fuck those guys. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I
Ah,
didn't want to be the
I read
token
that.
female.
I read that and I was like, "Girlfriend, no, go
oh
find someone
my
else to play with.
God!
What the fuck?
What the fuck are you talking
Don't
about
talk
being
to your
the
coworker ever
asshole?
again. Actually find a new job."
Actually,
Different.
You
Yeah.
should
find a new
leave.
job.
Yep.
That's
God.
Leave.
horrible.
Oh my
Like,
God. I don't.
women go through so much. Can't even fucking enjoy the game. You have to be the healer fuckable woman. Are you serious? Like, are they romancing each other? Did she ruin the game because
I,
there was no longer somebody to try to have sex with? Like, what?
Yeah,
oh my
bad.
God,
Bad,
dude.
bad.
It's always
She's
like
definitely not the asshole.
that's awful. That's awful. I don't even have words right now.
I feel like if she stayed, it would have gotten like
It only would have
Worse.
terrible.
gotten worse.
It
And that
yeah.
So
was the
much worse.
second session.
It would have
The
escalated to something
second.
far worse.
If they
They
were
did
already trying to figure
two.
out who's gonna date her and asking bra sizes in as role play, the second session, yeah,
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
yeah. If
No,
what
ma'am.
would the 10th session be
And,
like?
like, literally think about how
Horrible.
far it went when, like, literally just her saying, like, "Nope, I'm out, you guys have fun," which she could have said a hell of a lot more than that, but that's all
Yeah.
she said, and then she left. And then they started blowing up her phone to the point of, like, insulting and harassing her
Because they're desperate to have her back.
because they're so desperate to, like, ugh, eh.
To be creepy.
Yeah, to be fucking weird.
Dude,
Why
that's
aren't you
yeah.
okay with me being weird and creepy?
There was one update to it, and essentially she just says, like, thanks for, validating me and that I'm not overreacting.
I think you
And then
underreacted.
honestly,
Underreaction for sure.
I don't think you did enough.
yeah.
You should
We're
go
doing
back and
enough,
be mean
babe.
to those guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It sucks too because there's so many cases of new players joining tables and Dungeons and Dragons gets ruined for life because their
Yes.
first table is just the worst fucking table I've ever heard of from
Just
Dungeons and
weird,
Dragons. Like
sweaty
each one
guys.
just sounds worse and worse, and it's like it's it just there's probably going to be like a whole generation of people who will never play D&D who probably would have loved the game because
Yeah.
they trusted somebody to give them a good experience playing the game, went to their house, got comfortable, got set up, and then were just treated with a really negative and
Awful
bad
experience.
environment.
And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that sucks. And I think what sucks more almost is like knowing that like those guys were speaking like in character. And like I'm sure if you asked them and say, "Oh, it's just my character, it's what my character would do," but secretly all of those men she knew had weird thoughts about her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like she could see through the veil. She knew every single one of those men wanted to do horrible things to her. And being in a group full of people like that sounds horrible.
It's
Terrifying.
if it's by the second session, then yeah, it's not a role play thing. It's the person themselves is being a
The weird
creepster.
one.
If
Yeah.
I've heard of
do
plenty of cases where that people have built like D&D relationships like as role play, and it would
Yeah.
lead up to a big moment where like one character confesses their love for another character. I'm all for that. But
Yeah.
that's like a story. It's like a campaign long like event, not second
Right.
session in. Who are you gonna date?
What's
Who
your
are you gonna
bra
date?
size?
Yeah, what's your bra
Yeah.
size? It's
How
And
big those
also, like,
imaginary
how
titties be?
fucking uncomfortable to watch a bunch of grown men around you argue over who gets to date your fake character because you're
yeah,
the only girl in the room.
yeah.
How
Ugh.
fucking awkward.
That is so weird. That poor girl.
Yeah.
And she's probably
I'm
never
so
gonna play again.
well. She said at the
No,
beginning
in
that she
the
had a
thing,
group.
and in the update too, I didn't read the whole thing because it didn't say much, but she did say that she's gonna continue to try to find a group
Good.
that
Oh,
Good for
good.
she
her.
enjoys. She's
Okay,
not giving up. Yeah, she said, "I'm
good,
not gonna give up."
It
good.
sounds like thankfully she had an established group before that and loved D&D.
Mhm.
So it sounds like it
Yeah.
didn't ruin it for her, thankfully.
Yeah, she had the online groups. I would bet you money though, if that was her first experience playing D&D,
Oh,
like if she didn't have that online group, if that was her first time playing,
She probably would never play again.
never
I
I
again.
wouldn't
wouldn't
Why
blame
would you?
her.
Why would you? You
because
wouldn't want to.
ugh.
You
I'd have been
wouldn't.
like, "Oh, that's fucking weird. Why? Like, that's what D&D is." And then they have this like perception that that's like what
Yeah.
D&D is.
That's
And
what
that's just
D&D
like a bunch of
is.
people like role playing, fucking dating and shit,
Yeah, that's not
being
okay.
weird. That's
Damn.
not okay.
But that just
Damn.
got bad. It like started bad, stayed bad. There was not a single
I
part
know
of that.
that's how I felt when I was reading
It was
it the
like it was
first time.
like
I was like, "Oh, I'm choosing this
it
one."
was like
It is.
Preston's story, Natania's.
Yeah. Ugh.
So
God.
It's your
Oh
awful.
my
daily
Yeah.
reminder
god.
that horrible people exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
In
Preston's
case
real.
like, oh,
anyone
they're
forgot.
teenagers.
We're just like, "Ah, they're just kids being kids." This one we're like, "Oh."
Yeah. Ugh.
Creepy
Just
people.
absolutely repulsed.
Grown ass men, dude. Ugh.
Ew.
Not
Grow
not
up.
men.
Well, and
Not
she was
men.
like,
Those are
and like
boys.
Yeah.
they were all adults, but she was also like the youngest one in the room. Which, like,
It,
from
it
a woman's perspective, that makes a fucking difference. That
it
That
makes it
does.
yeah.
worse.
It's a power
Yeah.
dynamic, dude. If
If
you're
you're
the
like
youngest person in
19,
the room.
20,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Some
she was like
30-year-olds
she's
hitting on you.
20 and everyone else was 22 to 26 with her coworker, the one she knew, being the 22-year-old.
Yeah, a bunch
And
of random fucking people.
Yeah.
imagine her having to go back to work with that guy too. That's horrible. Like she still has to
Yeah.
work with him.
Well, and the fact that even in the post that she was like, "Well, now he's not talking to me." Girl, good.
Yeah, you don't want to
You're
talk to that kind
lucky
of person.
actually that he's not like, forcing himself upon you because he knows where you work, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
And he's
god.
creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and his creepy weird friends.
Well, that's D&D stories for today's session, and let's jump into the actual D&D session.